In the same way that we just use domains to glue the endpoints to the endpoint groups, kind of the physical side of ACI to the logical side, we now need to form a connection between the domains and the VLANs that we've created and actual physical switches and physical interfaces. Well, in this nugget, we're going to cover the Attachable Access Entity Profiles, or AAEPs, sometimes even abbreviated AEPs. And by the end of this nugget, we'll understand exactly what the role of the AEP is within an ACI configuration. So as we continue to build this process, let's just quickly review where we've come from. We start off with domains. We know that we have physical, virtual, all kinds of different domains in here, 4 different types. And as part of that, we add the VLAN pool that we created at the start, which has the range of VLANs that we want to use in this particular domain. Now our goal is to map this domain. Again, think of it from a VLAN perspective. We want to map this domain to a set of interfaces. Now ACI doesn't allow us to map straight to interfaces. Instead, we have to map to something called an interface policy group. And this interface policy group will eventually get us to the actual interface, which again is the overarching goal. But there's a problem with this, because what if we want to have multiple domains? We talked about how we could have physical domains and virtual domains, and we might want to map both of these domains to the same sets of interfaces. So what do? Well, ACI provides a new construct called the Attachable Access Entity Profile, or AAEP. And you will sometimes, as I mentioned before, see this abbreviated as AEP, just to keep the letter count down, I suppose. And we can assign domains now straight into the AAEP. So what if we do have physical and virtual? And what if we also have layer 2 external? Well, we have 3 different domains. We can assign all 3 of those domains to the AAEP all at once. Generally speaking, we want to group similar domains, or at least that they're trying to accomplish the same thing. So maybe if we have database servers that are split, we talked about that, between physical and virtual, it makes sense to have all of these different types of domains mapped through the same AAEP. Next, the AAEP is what is mapped to the interface policy group. And by the way, the interface policy group can only have a single access entity profile. So we can attach many domains to one AAEP, and that one AAEP can get mapped to many interface policy groups. But again, as we already mentioned, still only one AAEP per interface policy group. The Attachable Access Entity Profile is how we bind a set of domains to a specific interface policy group. And the goal is to get those domains mapped to physical interfaces, and this is just part of the process. We're going to get there via the other constructs that we'll talk about in the next series of nuggets. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.